I am late to my own damn show. Oh man. Oh man. I gotta figure out how to put these comments now. Here we go. What's up, everybody? We live, baby. Late night conversations. Late night. We late night. I'm gonna give y'all a chance to tune in, comment. I know we got a view or two. I'm gonna share this out, get everybody in here. But holla if you're in here. Let me know you're in here, y'all. I know it's late. But I did wait till the freaking awesome paranormal show was over because I respect my homies up there in Richmond. We got my man Cody with Badlands Paranormal. We live, baby. What's up, brother? Look, we got a lot to talk about. We got a good thing coming, but let me get this shared out, y'all. I'm a one-man show tonight. I don't got my main homie in here running this for me. She more than the homie, y'all know that, but she the one that knows how to do all this. But so give me a second. Y'all let me know who's in here. Living the dream at work. Hey, Cody, best dressed hobo. You the hardest working dude I know, man. You and my guest here that we have. But I really don't want to call him a guest because we kind of got something planned for y'all. We're going to talk about it tonight. I know this is so unprofessional. All right, it's shared out. I can focus all my attention on y'all. So, y'all, we got two people in here that I know of. I can't see the YouTube people, but, well, yeah, I can. I think Cody's one of them. But I know it's late. We just kind of threw this in here. This is not we missed our scheduled show because life. I have no other excuse. I can't even make up a good excuse. It's just life. That's why we missed our normal show tonight, y'all. So we coming out with the late night show, the quiet storm. But y'all, we on here talking a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And the title explains itself. Whispers of the Unexplained, Late Night Thoughts. But I'm not going to make him wait, y'all. We trying something new. I got a very special guest with me tonight. One of my brothers in the paranormal, one of my true homies out here. I don't have a big circle of friends out here in these paranormal streets. I got a few, Cody, you want to know. But one of my mentors out here is going to be joining me tonight, and we're going to run this show tonight. I'm going to introduce the man himself with supernatural untold stories. We got Officer Tight Pants himself, Mr. Chris Mendace.
I like the tight pants. Do not make fun of my tight pants. What's going on, everybody? What are we doing?
What's up?
I like the beginning of this show as soon as you started off.
Oh,
late to my own show. Man, that explains pretty much everything. That explains our life right now.
Right. Well, I can't call this my own show right now because we're kind of cooking up something new right now. And we're not even like, we don't have no schedule for it. It's just a pop-up thing. So, and look, I'm bad at this, y'all. Is that a baton in your pants? No.
That is hilarious.
So that's Cody with Badlands Paranormal. And Cody, I can't speak highly enough of that dude, man. Cody, he started off as just best dressed hobo on TikTok, man. Just a dude that's started following us on TikTok, and we started interacting back and forth. And then he actually turned out to be a cool person, and then started meeting him. And I'll tell you, he's a hell of an investigator as well. Like I didn't know that he was that good of an investigator. He acts like he's just a rookie that don't know nothing. But you watch him investigate, dude knows the shit. He's a good investigator. Him and his shout out to I'm sorry, Cody, your lovely wife too, Miss Robin. She's a hell of an investigator as well. I had the privilege of pulling up on them at Appomattox at Clover Hill this weekend to watch them investigate. They're hell of investigators too. So shout out to Badlands Paranormal. Best dressed hobo, Cody.
I was gonna say that's usually the best way, like that you can find people, especially when they're quiet and sitting in the back, like listening and taking everything in versus being the know-it-all. That's how I am too. I sit back, I listen, I try to learn every single investigation we go on. Always try to learn, whether you think you know everything or not. You should always try to learn something new, try to learn a different way of doing things because not everybody does it the same.
Hey man, you can't be more right, dude. Like I learned a lot just from watching people. I learned a lot from you, and I learned a lot just from watching anybody. Really, some investigations I don't say nothing. I remember when we investigated Graffiti House, you pretty much ran that whole investigation to the end, and you fell asleep. but
I got drained. It was all the work I was doing.
People, sometimes falling asleep is a part of investigating, dude. Like all these demon houses and stuff like that.
You said the D word, man.
I tell people, like, knock it off. We got Samantha Sammy in the house. Samantha from Wyoming. Thank you for tuning in. I know it's late night, y'all. And again, I apologize for not having the normal show, but this is something kind of new. Chris and I, it's not really new, but Chris and I want to do it. By the way, Chris, your studio looks amazing, by the way.
Thanks.
Looks amazing, brother.
It's been a lot of work. It's getting there. Getting there a little bit. Got a little more to go. And then some organizing, and then we'll see.
Yeah, like those of y'all who are just tuning in, what's up, Amy? How you doing? Another one I met at a public investigation, Amy. Wow, thank y'all for tuning in. I know it's not the normal 8 o'clock show. This is a whole different show, y'all. Y'all are going to see a different side of things with Chris and I. This is a very informal show. This is not something, we're not going to have a subject. This is your chance to talk about any and everything you want to talk about. This is, I know you don't see Courtney with me tonight, and that's because Courtney is enjoying her time on the couch playing video games right now. I can hear her playing Red Dead. I'm sure she's in here watching.
She's not watching.
This is Chris and I's show tonight, and this is your chance to talk to us about anything you want. You're going to hear Chris and I talk about a variety of experiences. I'm probably going to be asking him a lot of questions. Chris is one of my mentors, y'all. He doesn't like to admit it, but Chris, all those videos you see on our TikTok and content, you can thank him for it because he taught me how to do it. I didn't know nothing about videoing, y'all.
I like Badlands comment there.
Okay, Badlands. So this is why I like Cody. So Cody and I, Chris, hopefully when you come to Lynchburg, you'll meet Cody. So Cody and I kind of just connected. We don't really know each other all that well, but he's one of those people, kind of like you and I. You meet him and some people just have that energy and you just connect, right? So, and there's the queen, the princess herself, Miss Courtney. We got much love for Courtney, y'all. Thank you, Courtney, for tuning in. Courtney is enjoying her time on the couch playing video games. But those of y'all who aren't following yet, please go follow Supernatural Untold Stories. That is Chris's personal channel.
Don't mind the spelling there for there.
But Cody, you brought up something very interesting: UFOs and aliens. So those of y'all who've been watching our show know me very well, and y'all know how I feel about UFOs and aliens. We're going to start. That's a good place. That's a great place to start tonight, y'all, because for the last 2 weeks, that's all Chris and I have been talking about. I had no interest in UFOs and aliens. None. I don't care about them. I barely believe they existed until, and I can't talk too much about it because we had some really weird shit happening when we decided that I let this guy right here on the screen at like 1:30 in the morning talk me into go out UFO hunting with him on one weird night after all night of investigating.
Listen, it was a long night. It was a long night, and they waited up for me. So I was like, what better way to repay them?
So, UFOs and aliens. So I will tell you, I never seen a UFO until I was with this guy right here. And he decided to take his laser and shine it at the sky. And all of a sudden, things start moving around. And at first, I was like, satellites. But then my brain starts working. Now, if you ever seen a satellite, they're not that big. And if they're up in the sky, we shouldn't be able to really see them from here. But let's say we can, right? Let's say we can see a satellite. Let's say that is possible. That satellite shouldn't be running from a laser. It shouldn't be reacting. And also, it shouldn't sit stationary and then you shine a light at it and then it take off running from you and disappear. And then more pop up and you shine a light at those and they start running from you. That was Chris. You explain it better than I do. What else? What am I missing here?
All right. So it all started with this theory I had for a while. I want to say for a little while now. I've been having these weird looking lights appear anytime I look in the sky. So anytime I look at the sky, I see them, and they always seem to like change direction as I'm staring at them. And it's not one, it's not two. You're looking at probably like maybe 15, 20 within a matter of a couple minutes. With that being said, the one night I got to see them, I started playing with the laser. So I shone a laser at it, and I noticed that it was avoiding the lasers, literally changing direction. The actual direction is traveling. It'll completely change the direction in order to avoid the lasers. So while we were up in PA, it was gorgeous out. It's clear skies. You can see the lights. There's barely any light pollution. And these guys are just sitting in the kitchen waiting and just BSing once it came back from an investigation. And I was like, you know what? Let's go try to see if we can see these UFOs. Like, I have a feeling that anytime you think about them, you're able to kind of manifest them and see them. They're like, yeah, right, it's BS, blah, blah. So we end up going out there. And what do you say, Sean? Within a couple minutes, the first one appeared right where I was pointing.
I wouldn't even say a couple minutes, almost instantly.
Yeah, so one of the first ones appeared, and then I started showing them. And right around this time is when I pulled the laser out. I started explaining to them anytime I point the laser at them, they actually change directions. Because for a while there, I actually thought it could be maybe some satellites, maybe the International Space Station that you can see. But when I was looking to see at the position in the area of those satellites, they weren't appearing or they weren't showing up on the star map. So that caused this whole theory, and that's what caused pretty much one of the first interactions Sean had with these unexplainable lights in the sky that somehow change direction with lasers. And don't do this at home. You're not supposed to shine lasers at the sky. This is hypothetically speaking.
Don't do it. It's a felony, y'all. Don't do it. You catch it, you'll get arrested quick.
Yeah, so this is it was interesting to see the different directions that they would be willing to go to avoid this laser. And shortly after, as soon as we started messing with this, we literally lost track of time. We started doing this like 1:30 in the morning. By the time before we even realized it was already like 4:30 in the morning. And the entire time we're doing this, we're experiencing different things around us. We're experiencing different growls. We're experiencing footsteps. We're experiencing different experiences that you would never really experience when trying to mess with what you believe to be a UFO. And that led into the following night. And that's kind of the night that Sean was talking about, where we ended up taking a little step further, being in Pennsylvania in the middle of nowhere in the woods. We decided to find a place that was darker to see if we can kind of recreate this. And we ended up finding a park in the area that was, it was a kind of like a boat ramp state park. Barely any light pollution. So we ended up going there. It had just rained that day. It was starting to get foggy out. It was intermittent between fog and no fog. And we go out there, park the truck, turn all the lights off in the truck, turn the truck off, open the moonroof that I have in the truck. And we're all sitting in the truck, literally looking at this thing because out of nowhere, it ended up getting cold too, just from it being, from it raining and just being in the mountains. So long story short, we're watching these things appear in the sky. They're intermittent. At one point, we start seeing this triangular shape, what we believe to be was a UFO. There's 3 different lights. These lights start appearing and disappearing as you shine the laser at it. It almost avoids the laser, it completely disappears off the sky, like you can't see it, and it reappears, and it disappears, and it reappears again. So we're sitting there for a couple minutes playing with this thing, and we start all getting paranoid. We all started getting that weird feeling of like something watching you or approaching the windows of the car, like looking in. And it was almost like that one little feeling where you're like, oh shit, like it's the pucker effect is what I call it, where you start like sort of panicking a little bit. So we start trying to start my truck, trying to turn lights on, and at that time the truck was not starting. It's not recognizing the keys. We started seeing a little bit of a fog start appearing as soon as I shined the flashlight out into like sort of pretty much outside of the truck surrounding us. And right around the same time I shined the flashlight, the truck decides that it wanted to start, and it started. We were able to get the truck started, then turned back off after that. And that was the only time we've had that experience. The truck has been working perfectly fine since then. But it just adds to the crazy experiences we had that entire weekend between, Sean and I, Scott and myself had some sort of like weird magnetic interaction with our GPS where it completely threw us in a loop. Right as we were talking about the show From, where like, these people get stuck in the middle of nowhere and they're never really able to leave. They're just stuck in a loop going back and forth. Kind of similar thing happened. Like our GPS just kept throwing us back in a loop, and we must have went around the same loop maybe 3 times before we realized we're on the same loop. And I ended up going a different direction away from where the GPS was trying to lead us to actually make it to a place to eat. We were there like 35, 40 minutes later than what we were supposed to be. Same thing though. We ended up losing track of time, and it was interesting. That the whole weekend led into additional weirder things that we cannot explain. And it all started with these UFOs.
Yeah, I mean, it was some crazy stuff. Before we go any further, I want to say what's up to Michael Brooks. Shout out FPRI, Fredericksburg Paranormal Investigation. Grand Time. Grand Time's another person I met at a public investigation and investigated with those ladies. Look, this group of ladies has some of the best energy I've ever met out of a public investigation. Awesome group. Badlands said, well, let's dig into aliens have been depicted in human history for as long as humans could write. Native Americans, I'm not going to try to pronounce that next word, Aztecs, Egyptians, and more. We're going to touch on that, Cody. And Cody also says, so many stories have some type of technology. I can never say that word either. Interference when they think they are spotted and someone is close to finding them or something about them. We're going to talk about that in a second as well. Shout out to the doctor himself. Walks in, takes his hat off, and has a seat. What's up, Howie? All right, then we got Michelle Wilfong. Y'all go check out her YouTube as well. She has a great channel called The Haunted Apartment. She has a whole series about her apartment being haunted, and it's actually some pretty compelling evidence proving the theory of her.
We still have to go there and investigate it.
Yeah, her stuff is pretty good. I would love to investigate Michelle's apartment. So just to touch base, and Cody, I'm gonna get to your comment in a second. That the second night of investigating, being out with y'all, just to paint a picture, imagine being in the middle of Pennsylvania, the middle of nowhere, pitch black. This was like some straight stuff out of a horror movie where it was me, Chris, it was Chris, Scott, and I. We're all in the truck, and Chris is trying to get this truck to start, and it's literally coming across his dash saying key not recognized. Like not truck not start, not nothing. And then Scott's window starts going up and down on its own. Like the window starts malfunctioning.
Give me a quick second. I need to go check this out. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, it was some straight weird stuff. But Cody touched on something. It's funny we're talking about aliens again. Y'all know me. I have no interest in UFOs, aliens, nothing until my experience with them dragging me out. First of all, y'all, I don't deal with the police too much, but these two are police officers doing this stuff. Being out there with these guys was not my bag, but I will say, after those experiences, I'm now curious as to what's beyond the sky. But when Cody said that this stuff has been around, you have to wonder, where did this theory of this little saucer flying through the sky come from? They didn't have electricity when the Aztecs, the Native Americans were here, the Egyptians and all that. But yet there's pictures of these things inside of pyramids. There's pictures of flying saucers, and I've always wondered, how did these pyramids really get built? Those stones are heavy. And I'm not sure the exact weight, but they're very heavy. And how do they stack them up? How did all that work? I get it. They had they were way advanced on their technology and this, that, and the third, but you know, I there could be some truth to something beyond the sky. There's pictures of even the saucers flying in the air in the pyramid. They're not like little saucers on the ground. They are up in the air. There's pictures of the alien that we see today that people look at, the little green men in the pyramid. So
we're talking about this, and as we're talking about it, everybody's sleeping upstairs, by the way. And I heard a loud, high pitched scream coming off of my left side. So that's why I left. I was checking that out. It was kind of weird, right? As we're once again talking about this stuff.
Yeah, Cody, that's a whole different episode. We're gonna talk about it tonight, though. We got some time tonight. This show, like I said, this show is different than our normal podcast, y'all. And those of y'all who are just tuning in from our normal podcast, this is not like our normal show. This is just Chris and I having a late night conversation. Feel free to put in any subject or any question that you'd like to talk about. Chris is super knowledgeable about different various topics. Right now, we just happen to land on aliens, thanks to Cody here with Badlands Paranormal. So Howie says Virginia Art Museum in Richmond, Virginia has a display of a plate from 1376. And on this Art Deco plate is a town, and it has flying saucers flying all through the town. Just thought I'd check it out. So 1376, there was no electricity back then. There was no flying technology back then. Where in the hell did they come up with a flying saucer? We're gonna touch on that. Let me say what's up to my homie Butterfly. What's up, baby? Hey, Courtney's on Red Dead right now, Butterfly, and I sent you an invite the other night. We miss you, Butterfly. We miss playing Red Dead. Butterfly is the homie I met on Red Dead, and you just left me hanging. I done had blueberries ganging up on me. I've been smacking them with the old Springfield on there. We miss you, Butterfly. We miss you. I got my boy my cousin LT. What's up, L Tizzle? Best guitar player I know personally. The song that plays on our intro, "Dig My Grave," that's the man playing guitar on it right there. Baddest guitar player that I know personally. Cody says Aztecs have a drawing of a man wearing a bowl on his with fire coming out of his boots. Interesting. Michelle says, good evening. Butterfly, we miss you on Red Dead. Butterfly says, well, I'm going to okay with court, but I'll keep you tabbed up, and I'm sick of you with them hats. Listen, this 2nd Virginia Cavalry hat. You know you love it, Butterfly. You will wear it. You see me wearing this on Red Dead, baby. But yeah, what were you gonna say, Chris?
I don't even know. So as he was talking about those lights are actually covered in the whole Project Blue Book For a while there, like in the 1900s, they had all these crazy lights appearing all over in the skies. There's orange lights. They appeared over DC, and there wasn't a damn thing they can do about them. But that was one of the things that was actually covered in Project Blue Book. There's a place up in Napanoch, New York, near the Shanley Hotel, where they have an actual UFO museum, and they cover these lights as well, like flying through town, and they pretty much have all these firsthand knowledge and experience of all the UFO activities that have been recorded in that area, which is interesting. If you guys are ever up in that area, it's a pretty cool museum to check out.
I noticed it's all up north. All this activity is coming from the north. Butterfly, wear one. It'll change your life. Yeah, up north. I noticed it's. I knew what you meant, Cody. Up north, it's like I don't get it. Like I know you see this stuff all the time. Here in the South, it's a little bit different, and I'm not sure why. I know they got like some space stations up there. Um, I know closer north is where we got more heavy government. I don't get why the north has more activity with that. You and out west, but then again, NASA. So and I don't get why the government just won't go ahead and tell us, hey, we've been communicating with them since the 40s, probably beyond that. Let's just talk about it.
I was reading an interesting article about that. Back in the day, apparently, I forget which president, but there was a president that was in contact with Spielberg, and a lot of the hold on, what'd she say?
Butterfly said, and she's 100% right. I believe in all this alien conspiracy stuff. The government lies to us. Yes.
So there was a like I was talking to you about the there's an article written, I forget which president, like I was saying originally.
Good night, Amy. Thanks for stopping by.
They covered somehow having some sort of I guess interaction and telling Spielberg about some of these UFOs and actual encounters that they were having with all these extraterrestrials. And that's actually one of the things that inspired that movie, The Third Kind, I believe was what it was called. And one of the comments that was actually transcribed between Spielberg and this president was supposedly that he pretty much hit the nail on the head when it came down to The Third Kind. Apparently, those events are based off of true history. So, like, it makes you think, how many times have we watched these movies that are actually trying to tell us something that we don't know, or maybe even conditioning our mentality into, being ready to believe these aliens and whatever it is that's out there.
That's a good point too. I mean, Cody said it's less light pollution up north, less tree canopy cover close to military bases, test sites. Same way out west, more open spaces. I hear what you're saying too with movies, getting us ready for it. I think Men in Black, man, we talked about that a lot this past weekend. It's a goofy movie. It's funny. It's lighthearted. But how much of that is real? Y'all's encounters, and we won't talk too much about that on here, but think about all the encounters you had. How many of y'all's encounters when I wasn't with you, but I watched y'all's investigation, man, and I looked at it, and I started to watch it a second time. How much of that was just like Men in Black? It was just like it.
So let's just say that after these experiences we had this past weekend, we've encountered several individuals who we've never even talked to, who somehow has referenced areas where we live, knowing how many children we have, which was probably one of the creepiest one, and the locations of relationships that they supposedly have. And a lot of these locations where they claim are actually areas where they have CIA bases and CIA headquarters. Some of which are within close proximity of our own hometown. So
Good point.
it was interesting. There was definitely too many coincidences of just random people that just somehow showed up and made themselves known. Um,
Keyword
I
made
can't
themselves known or
can't
phrase.
go too much into details on that one, but it was interesting. It was very interesting, especially the experiences that followed after all of that. It's pretty cool, I guess.
So Butterfly said one president took Jackie Gleason to Area 51 and other people have been there. Why can't we go? And the key thing she said out of that is why can't we go? You know,
Here's my thing: how many people still think that Area 51 with the amount of publicity has gotten throughout the years is still located in the same place?
still,
Right.
yep. That's a good point too. I mean, I look at Area 51 though as almost like a sleight of hand. Part of me feels like we want you to look at Area 51 while something's going on over here. One day, I feel they're going to open Area 51 and say, okay, go through it. It's a museum. They're going to make money off of it, a shit ton of money off of it. They're going to take everything out of it, give you a cool museum out of it. But, people told me, and credible sources have told me that over there, mountains open up, and there's bases in the mountains. There's a lot of false mountains, and I believe these people, these very credible sources, and I think that with those mountains opening up, when do they have time to build that? It's a sleight of hand. Everybody's looking at Area 51. Everybody's looking at one thing. So eventually, we're going to be able to go into Area 51. Everything is already moved. Area 51 happened.
Everything's already moved now.
Right.
I
believe that. That's a good point.
I think that's just more of really just a test site to keep people entertained into the belief and thoughts of Area 51. But Area 51,
a ton of money off Area 51 when it opens. If it ever opens.
Even on like national security standpoint of everything, because of the amount of publicity, it wouldn't make sense to continue to have it or have your top secret projects there. You know what I mean? Like think about it. It's just it wouldn't make sense at all. Like realistically thinking about everything, it just wouldn't make sense. I mean, you would have another location, which is another black site somewhere where you're going to continue to do your projects where you're not as big of a target, if that makes any sense.
Right. I mean, Cody was just talking about the underground tunnels, man. How many underground tunnels have we seen? I mean, just recently we were in underground tunnels that went under a whole city.
Yep. Kentucky.
Yeah. And I mean, if we know that there's underground tunnels that we just so happen to have access to, who would have known that tunnel was there? Like that tunnel that we went into in Kentucky, if you weren't that property owner and that property owner didn't make it known to us, nobody would have known that was there. So think about how many more of those are in the world.
Yeah. I mean, he just covered one of them about the DC to California. I mean, how many people talk about that tunnel? How many of these truckers that you see that are posting videos of going through these massive tunnels underground to travel from one place to another?
Because they've even talked about the tunnels that those giants live in.
But here's a bigger idea, bigger mentality of maybe opening your mind a little more. How about if there is no tunnels? How about if it's some sort of portal? You know what I mean? What about if it's not really a tunnel? You're traveling through dimensions. And a lot of it has to do with what I've always talked about, that time and space. What the time and space? You know what I mean? Like it's kind of interesting. I don't know.
Remember the theory: if you can control time,
Control space. You control space and control time. It's Albert Einstein unified field theory.
and it makes perfect sense. Think about it. In Kentucky, I went down there. I went to go visit a friend that used to live there, and literally, if you step over this border, you're in a whole different time zone. Your time changes, and we were laughing. I was like, "Man, you're an hour behind if you take one step over the border." So imagine living on this side of the line, and you work on this side. I'd be late for work every single day. Because my watch would be changing. I'm like,
Yeah.
it would mess me up. So, but how is that possible? I was telling Courtney, I was like, man, if you live right here, and this is the line, right? This is the line. You live over here, but your job is literally right here. How does that make sense that controls time?
Right.
Time doesn't exist, in my opinion. That's just me. It doesn't. So if you can control it, which
that is a whole nother podcast in itself. Like here's
people
the thing
think we're nuts.
like if you think about it, like you're opening the door to literally everything, anything and everything paranormal, because everything has to do with time, right?
Everything.
You're dealing with these hauntings that are caused because of some sort of event that happened in some sort of time. You know what I mean? Now take the time aspect of it. What are you left with? Space. You know what I mean? So now picture that. Picture not having the time aspect. Now you're doing it through space. Now, if you're no longer living, you're traveling through this space, which you have no idea what time, date, or even like what era you're in.
It's just like that movie where the dude traveled to outer space, went down a wormhole, and when he went down that wormhole, it was like a week he was gone on Earth, but in outer space it was like 40 years. So it was like the weirdest thing. But and we'll touch on that. I wanted to touch on butterflies. She said civilizations have been underground and inside mountains and caves, and it's known. It is completely believable to me that the so-called powers that have done the same and will continue to do so to keep us uninformed about their reasons and why. Now, the one thing that makes me curious about butterflies theories, and this is the most I've seen Butterfly engage in any podcast. She pops in and just says hey and then leaves, or she's quiet if she doesn't leave. Butterfly lives right in the middle of Appalachia, y'all. I'm not gonna put her location out there because I don't put people's business out. But Butterfly lives where the weirdest things have ever happened at. and we were talking about Appalachia, right? And I can only imagine the things that Butterfly has seen around her. I can imagine. Don't y'all go try to look for it either. Appalachia goes all as far south as you can think and as far north as you can think. But where she's at, it's like can you imagine the stuff the government has done in those hills and mountains? So, I mean, she's right. She's absolutely right. Civilizations have been inside of mountains. But, with Courtney was telling me where she's from out in Arizona, that, those mountains opening and people living underground, and Butterfly can probably talk about this too. And you know it. Go underground for a year. Never come out and see daylight. You have no concept of time at that point. And people who are away from sunlight underground, you don't age. It's just like people who've been incarcerated. If you ever known anybody who's been incarcerated for any length of time, they stayed like the age they were incarcerated with. They barely age. They barely change.
Yeah, I mean, just think about the culture shock too. You're coming out like if you were locked up 30 years ago, right? You're coming out now,
Yeah.
and now you have cell phones. You went in when you had house phones. Now you have these handheld cell phones that can tell you anything and everything out there. Um. So yeah, I mean that's I don't know. It's interesting. Um. But yeah, I mean, I would love to go out there where she lives, just experience some of the stuff, some of the stories that people have from that area.
Yeah,
That'd be kind of
she's
cool.
out there, man. Like, I remember we were not far from where she was at one time, and it's
Let's
creepy. I'm
let's
not
talk
gonna
about
lie. I've been in these haunted houses. I've been in these demon houses. All right, that ain't got shit on the appellation. I'm telling you, it don't. You're talking about a whole different. When you're talking about things that are dealing with powers beyond the universe, and you're talking about things that nobody really understand, even paranormal. You know, when you're dealing with like ghosts, and then you're dealing with stuff that we're talking about, it's night and day. I'll sit in any haunted house. I don't care about that. That doesn't bother me. But when you're dealing with stuff like that, like even with the sky, that it was, I'm not gonna lie, I was getting creeped out with some of the, looking at some of that stuff, because there's so much going on around us and we have no clue about it. And then you're talking about time. Some people would literally think we are idiots and we're crazy. But if you really break down time, what is it? Who created, who said that we have 24 hours in a day? Who says that? Every day science gets proven wrong. Every
we
single day.
we literally just talked
Every
about
day.
this earlier today too. It's crazy.
It's funny. Every day science gets proven wrong. And every day that every scientific theory I hear makes no sense at more and more every day I hear it. Every day.
Everything changes too. Like if you notice,
The sun lights the moon. Okay, then how in the hell am I seeing both of them at the same time?
yeah. I mean, but think about it. Like I mean, everything changes. We talked about this. I mean, throughout the years, you started off with 5% of human brain of us being able to use only 5%, and that went up to what's it now, 7%.
Man, I've heard 5%. I've heard 15. It all depends on what scientists you talk to.
Mm-hmm.
You can Google it, but like, to hell with Google, because Google lies, tells you all different kind of shit. I remember
Conditioning.
back when you had to pick up an actual book to read stuff, right? Get on Google, and depends on what AI tells you. It'll tell you one thing. Google will tell you one thing, depending on what website. So what has been found is that we cannot use a vast majority of our brain, right? So if you cannot use a vast majority of your brain, it's just like Howie talks about it. We don't see all colors. We only see like a 30 to 40% of all colors. Like if we're looking at green, how do we know this is teal or this lime green that we're looking at? How do we know that?
I like butterflies. Next comment there. Exactly why are the sun and the moon chilling at the same time now? That's a really
Right.
good question because I've actually been trying to think that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Butterfly is she's on one tonight. I'm telling you, Butterfly does not comment this much. And I'm
now
loving it,
let's
Butterfly.
now that we're talking about time and space contingencies, right? Let's talk about the Mandela effect. The reasons why the
Don't get me
Mandela
started on that. Shazam was a movie, y'all.
effect. What was the other one? A little bit Bear Stain Bear. And you had
Yeah.
there were so many things. The
Life was
mirror
like a
mirror on the
box of
wall.
chocolates.
Mirror mirror on the wall. Remember that one?
No, Butterfly, you cannot leave. I will call you. I will call you on live.
Hello.
I got my phone right here.
That's hilarious. Mirror mirror on the wall. You know that one? They're saying it's not mirror mirror on the wall. They're saying it's magic mirror on the wall now. Did you know that?
Willy Wonka had a chocolate bar, not a moon. I haven't heard that one. Willy
Oh,
Wonka had a Courtney. What did Willy Wonka have? She said, "What did Willy Wonka have?" I don't know.
I'm gonna look that one up.
She said Oompa Loompas.
Well, he did have those.
Did he have a chocolate bar or a moon pie? She said a chocolate bar. Butterfly said he has a moon pie now. She said he ain't got no damn moon pie. She said Butterfly tripping. Does it really say he's got a moon pie? I do know Willy Wonka had a chocolate. I never watched any of those movies. Oh my God. Butterfly typed that at the same time Courtney said it. See, time and space. Time and space. Butterfly said he had a golden ticket from the chocolate bar. He broke pieces off and shared. Yeah, but where is moon pie? I've never heard of Willy Wonka having a moon pie. Did he really have a moon pie?
I'm reading it right now. It says in a 1971 film, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Willy Wonka Gene Wilder does not hold the treat Charlie receives for his birthday. Grandpa Joe does. That specific birthday treat is a Whipple scrumptious, I can't even pronounce the word, fudge mellow delight, which looks exactly like a moon pie. However, the actual chocolate bars hidden with the golden tickets are traditionally candy bar shapes. So I guess they're trying to say it's a moon pie.
What? Butterfly says she's about to go shoot your horse.
Man, now I'm like,
Courtney said if you come for her horse, she's gonna dynamite arrow you. Yo, we are true nerds over here, y'all. Oh man, because Butterfly, you didn't get on today. I had to run my wagon by myself.
wow, that's pretty cool.
But listen, all this stuff though. So Butterfly said my guy pulled out the VHS and showed a clip of his candy bar. Yeah, but see, this Mandela effect though is very real. They're literally telling us stuff about our childhood that Mud Creek.
They're interfering with our, I guess, our memories in a way.
But
there's a reasoning behind it. There was a little kid supposedly that came up with this whole theory behind it, and he ended up going missing, and they still haven't found him.
But you know what though? I think it's part of a grooming process. I think it's if you are able to groom people into believing what you want them to believe, it's grooming you for something bigger. So let's say the government does say, go ahead and admit, yeah, there are aliens, right? They released that on the news today. 5 to 10 years from now, they can say we never said that. And people will fall for that and believe it because they're able to groom us to believe whatever they want us to believe. People are like sheep, man. You can literally herd people. Look at all the stuff that goes on today with politics, religion, race, everything. People are able to be heard just like sheep. When people say that there are sheep out here, yeah, I do remember that. Now I've read that one before.
I was just looking at that one because I definitely remember him wearing a monocle.
Like and now you can't find no pictures of it either if you look it up. But yeah, the people are just like sheep.
It all falls back once again to the whole theory, the shifting timeline.
Yep, control time and space. You control people.
Yep, especially. I remember hearing the one theory was a micro black hole that had opened on Earth when they were doing some sort of like military experiment, which actually caused the timelines to shift, which created like a reality like of multiple Earth in the same timeline. So it's like you're going in and out of it. And it always goes back to exactly what I told you from the beginning, the Albert Einstein theory, which still has not been explained.
Now, I was talking again to, I don't know if he wants me to tell his name because I don't know if he's still in here or not. And if you want me to and you're still in here, I will mention your name, someone. But with Scott being a medium, um, what if he was able to control time and space, not realizing he could? Just a theory. Not saying he can. So people who think I'm crazy and all this and the third, these are all theories. You know, with the things, if you're a paranormal investigator and you're out here, you see enough crazy shit, you question your own sanity at times with the stuff you see. So if you see this stuff, nothing, everything's a possibility at this point. But what if he doesn't? What if he doesn't know his own ability? And what if he has the ability to do that and didn't realize it? And that's why we were seeing the stuff we saw.
Yeah, I don't know. Be interesting.
Butterfly said shifting and controlling time that kind of controls us. Yeah. Like, what if you can, Chris? What if you have an ability you don't know of?
Well, that goes back to the original theory that I had. Like when you're thinking about these things, you're actually manifesting them into actually showing themselves. And I want you guys to actually try this. If you guys are watching, I want you to go outside on a nice clear day and just think about seeing these objects and see how many of them you can spot and see. Because I've tested this here numerous times as of recently, and we've gotten some really good interaction with, I guess, these unexplained beings. But it goes back to what if their
Somebody's gonna get
conditionings.
pinged up. Scott is calling me. I'm in the zone. Somebody's getting probed.
I was just going to ask you, who's getting probed? It's hilarious.
No, man, I'm being serious. Like somebody could, you know, again, when you're a paranormal investigator, the stuff you see, because some people genuinely don't believe in it, and I understand that. Those same people who don't believe in it, challenge them to do an investigation. You know, they'll tell you no, they won't do it. But the people who don't believe in it haven't seen the things that we've seen. So when you see the things that we've seen at this point, anything becomes possible because your reality is different based on your experiences. You know, it's just like somebody who's never seen anybody get shot before, right? Or anybody who's never seen death or a traumatic experience. People don't know what PTSD is. So if you never experienced it or walked that walk, it's really hard to have that conversation with people who haven't seen it. So, and the reason what I'm getting to with that is that's why I never cared about aliens or believed in them because I never experienced any of that before. It took me having to have an experience for me to say, well, maybe there is something to this UFO thing. I'm thinking that's exactly what it was. But if you're new to streaming or looking to level up, check out StreamYard and get a $10 discount by clicking this link right here. And those of you who are still hanging out with us, we're not gonna hold you too much longer. This conversation got a little deep tonight, but
it can get deeper. It can definitely get deeper.
Let me go deep. You know, that's wrong. Oh, wrong train of thought. But those of y'all who like to hear what Mendace has to say, he has great content. Make sure y'all go follow and like.
I'm putting a copy of our links together. So those of you guys that aren't following, make sure you follow this guy right here, Hill City Paranormal. Also follow his personal page. He loves it when people follow him via Sean Elliott, Mr. Dirk Diggler. And don't forget to follow my pages also. Supernatural Untold Stories on all social media platforms. You guys hit the little bell icon, you'll get all sorts of new things popping up.
Follow Chris, Supernatural Untold Stories. He's a big time celebrity, y'all. I'm just the guy who tags. He lets tag along every once in a while.
Don't let
Uh,
them lie.
Butterfly says we are energy, so are ghosts. Apparitions or not, I think energy that makes sense. We're gonna talk about that, Butterfly. Butterfly is on one tonight. Where did she come from? Butterfly. Yes, we're gonna touch on that too. Butterfly said this is great. We got Selena Burns in here tonight. She said I'm a night owl. I got plenty of time. What you doing up this late, Selena? You up to no good this time of night. I'm just playing. Thank you for joining us. She said this is my stuff. Yes. So, by the way, Selena, another wow. See, here's the beautiful part about tonight. First of all, I get to hang out with the homie Chris Mendace. I call him all the time when I got questions about things because he's very knowledgeable. But I'm leaving Selena up here because it's like tonight has been all of the people that I met on public investigations, man. These are people I literally met hosting public investigations. And a lot of investigators don't like doing public investigations, but I love them. I repeat, I'm looking at the camera. Where's my camera? Oh, there it is. I got my glasses on, still can't see. I love doing publics because that's my chance to teach, and that's my chance to introduce people to what we do. And I hope that people actually has a chance to keep rolling beyond what we do with public investigations. So, and I like meeting people through the paranormal because paranormal people are the best people. So like all the people who are jumping in from the public investigations, man, I love seeing that because that lets me know that either I had a good impact, a negative impact, or they just curious about shit that I got to say. So y'all get to see me with my weird hats on late at night. We got clicked on Butterfly. Selena thought it was funny. You up to no good this time of night. We got Grand Time. Grand Time. Look, this lady right here, Grand Time, another one I met on a public investigation. She hung with me till like 5 in the morning. One morning it was like 5, 6 in the morning. I was trying to be tough. Okay, Grand Time's a little bit older than me, so I was like, I'm not letting this lady beat me. And I'm sitting here like, okay. I'm hanging in there. We was in Gettysburg, Rainward. Finally I had to tap out. She's sitting at the table just chilling, just like about to go outside, smoking those cigarettes. And she was just chilling, like everything was okay. I'm trying to be tough. Grand Time does hang out all night. Grand Time, made me look bad. I can't wait for the next investigation. Yes, the paranormal community, Selena, is an amazing community. You get to meet superstars like Chris Mendace with supernatural, untold stories. Chris, you never gave me your autograph, man. I need, Mr. TV shows and.
We got plenty of pictures together. Especially the one that looks like I'm proposing to you.
I don't take pictures with police officers. I come from the NWA era.
Me too.
All right, y'all. Hey, Chris, so we get to get back to the paranormal. We got like 4 people rolling with us, so I feel like we gonna give them our time here. If you all right with that.
I'm good.
All right, so Chris, I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one. So Butterfly said, and any of y'all, if y'all got anything y'all want to talk about, please put it in the comments. We'll touch on it. We'll talk about anything. This is y'all's show. Chris, this is a different show than our normal show. This is just Chris and I. We have all these weird conversations. We have all these weird conversations, and we're like, man, we need to put this on a podcast. But Butterfly said, we are energy, so are ghosts. Apparitions, not question mark. I think it's energy that makes sense. Chris, I'm gonna let you take the lead on that one. What do you feel about that?
About energies?
Yeah, he said we're energy, so are ghosts and apparitions.
Here's my thing with all that. So it goes back to me once again to Albert Einstein, where energies they don't die. So our energy is basically still living even after our vessel has passed away. If our vessel can no longer keep or stay in contact with our energy is going to leave the vessel, is going to find somewhere else to go. whether that's space or wherever it decides to go. But I think the energy is exactly what makes us us. Our energy is what keeps us moving, what makes us happy in a way. So if we're like a happy energy, we're energy that's going to continue to be uh, light and be light. However, you deal with some like people that are pissed off all the time that have this negative energy. Even living, if you walk into a room and you have a person who's having issues, who's just being negative, you can feel it automatically. You don't even have to know what's going on in their life to know that there's something negative going on with them, because you can feel that negative energy. And that energy, I think, is what sticks around. That energy is what stays roaming the earth after we pass. What about you? What do you think?
We had this conversation all the time, and I can have it 20 million more times. I think everything we do in paranormal is energy. Same thing with these aliens. I mean, I think there's ships that they drive, them UFO Cadillacs. I want one. I want to drive one of them bastards. If I could fit in one, I want to drive one. So, like, Butterfly touched on a good thing. We are energy. If you break your neck, it's not the break that kills you. It's the separation of electricity sending signals is what kills you. So when you die, that energy leaves your body. It's got to go somewhere. Einstein's law of energy, Newton's law of energy. They're very consistent with it. It has to go somewhere. It's not destroyed. Where does it go? And when we're investigating people, it has to. I think a lot of it has to do with where the energy that's left in a location. I believe very heavy in the stone tape theory. I believe the reason why places like Savannah, Georgia, and Gettysburg are so haunted because the amount of energy that's left behind in those locations. They say that they're the most haunted places in the United States because the amount of tragedy that happened there, the amount of war that was fought there. Virginia is up there with haunted places. If you think about it, war brings emotion. As a former military guy myself, you don't even have to be at war to experience emotion as a soldier. It's a lot. Police work brings a lot of energy and emotion to you're a police officer. So, think about the police work that was done in those cities. There's a lot of crime that was done. Blackbeard terrorized Savannah, Georgia. So there's so much energy left in those cities, and that energy doesn't go anywhere. I don't think it just dissipates when you die. It goes places. And then, Butterfly, I can't see her comment right now. I see she put one, but think about the amount of electricity that we have flowing now compared to 10 years ago, compared to 20, 30, and beyond. We are producing more energy now, which helps elevate that energy that's in the atmosphere. We have this 5G stuff. Everything now is wireless. Everything's Bluetooth. Think about how we're communicating right now. So I think that everything is energy based. And of course, we're energy ourselves. So everything we do has to do with energy. It's everywhere. We can't get away from it. The technology and the means that was used always makes me curious. That knowledge came from somewhere, and why don't we know how? Was it our energy, and how was it used? And maybe now it's lost knowledge because they've dumbed us down by keeping what they knew from us. It's well said. We don't have Einsteins and Newtons.
I have always said we're the dumbest versions of us that we can be. I mean, seriously, think about it.
Yes.
You look at the Egyptian time, they have technology that we can't recreate till this day. They have different artifacts that can produce light without having electricity. Think about that.
Tesla has a whole stove that doesn't even require electricity. You can cook on it.
I've seen the cold stove. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, I really do think that we are the dumbest versions of any living thing that could be around. I mean, I don't know. You have AI now that's doing everything for you, and I think that's going to be a bigger issue now. That's going to cause people to be, I don't want to say slower, but it's going to cause people to not be as smart, not be able to use their brains to think. They're going to rely on these things to answer the questions for them, to pretty much live their life for them. And it's just going to cause the knowledge, the history that is currently out right now to dissipate. Um,
Yeah.
it's kind of sad in a way, but I see it all happening. It's just these kids nowadays going to school and using AI to answer questions. They're not going to know how to solve a problem without using this thing.
And you're a computer guy. And, I've just started really getting heavy into computers. We can both agree that how much does AI actually get wrong when you try to research stuff? A lot.
Some people solely rely on AI to answer messages, which is crazy. I mean, I don't know. It
Yeah.
just it's really going to cause humans to become less smarter than what they are now. And if you
But
pay attention over time, even if you pay attention to buildings, like looking at the Victorian era, how much detail went to
wow.
a house,
Wow.
versus
Almost
how
there.
much detail goes into a house now. I mean, you've lost. I should even say, like, you can't even find somebody that can do the type of craftsmanship that could be done back in the day with less tools. I mean,
Wow.
think about that.
That,
Like,
that that's deep, Chris. That's actually good. That's good.
yeah.
That's really good.
But I mean, you see it. You see this stuff every day. You see it happening in front of you, but you don't realize until you actually sit down and you start paying attention to these small little details.
That part.
The corners, yes, the corners. uh, If you really sit down and look at a Victorian era house, you can see the small details in the framing of like different squares, different types of uh, things that were actually made out of wood, like people, like design. You can't find that anymore. And if you
And
find somebody
forged
that can
nails.
do that, it's a whole
Yeah.
different story.
I'm looking at these last two comments. Selena said the corners they cut. Butterfly said they won't be able to document history if they can't write or read. Those two comments are really like, they're just hitting me right now looking at them because, you know, my daughter is telling, I had to teach my daughter, y'all know me, I'm big on Civil War history, right? And I'm big on Rev War history. I know I wear a lot of Civil War hats, but I'm big on Rev War history. My daughter hardly knew either until I sat down and taught it to her. And the fact that now she's good, she knows it, but the fact that there's kids literally graduating high school that have no clue of either war that took place, they have no clue how to sign their name in cursive, which my daughter can, but my daughter literally has friends who can't sign their name in cursive because schools won't teach them. Now, think about those parents when they grow up, right? My daughter's 17, so when she's 50 and becomes a mother, and I'm and she has to teach her kid how to write in cursive, which she'll be able to, but her friends won't. Let that sink in. My daughter can count change as a cashier. My daughter has a job right now where she's working at a cash register, and she can count change back to people without looking at the cash register. Her friends can't. And I'm thinking to myself, damn. There's times where, if I have cash and I have the right amount of change, I'll, if I want to don't want change back, I'll give them the correct change. And people tell me no because they can't figure out, how to do that. And I'm just like, the ignorance of people today.
Let me ask you this question. Take it a little bit deeper. How many kids do you see writing on paper?
Oh man, how many kids know what a pencil is? Oh, a pencil sharpener. Oh wow, yeah, the spiral staircase.
Yes, you don't find spiral staircases anymore, or even the grand staircase. Think about the grand stairwells. Like you don't find those anymore. It's literally
small steps. But writing, writing on paper, man. Unless they're in school. I mean, I still carry a notepad with me. I'm working on a case in Lynchburg right now, where a family's getting bothered by something that they don't know about. Hey, Chris.
Always have it, man. You have to.
This is my office, y'all, that I create all my content in.
I mean, you've seen how I film. Like, I write stuff down on paper still.
Yeah. But there's people, but there's a purpose for that though. There's a reason why that happens. The dumber we are as a people, the more stuff that can go on without us thinking about it or knowing about it. Again, people are going to think, how many people you think clicked on this podcast, heard us mentioning aliens, heard us mentioning spirits, heard us talking about things controlling time, and thought we were absolutely nuts and clicked right off of it and said, I ain't listening to that. But if it's some bullshit and it's something about somebody shaking their ass or something about somebody doing something completely stupid or crime or something racial or something way out there, they'll look at that. They'll focus all on that.
Or we sit here and start screaming like
or if we're fighting with each other, arguing with each other.
Took away copper, replaced it with fiber optic. Shake my shit. Well, I mean, you know what they talk about copper, man. Copper supposedly has a lot of benefits to life.
A lot of healing.
Yeah. Have you seen those healing diamonds they sell for like $15,000 that are like conductive and supposedly supposed to heal anything and everything out there? It's all made out of copper. People don't realize that.
Selena said the legend, according to Catholic tradition, after the chapel was finished in 1878, the Sisters of Loretto. Are you talking about Loretto, Pennsylvania? Pennsylvania. Yeah, Pennsylvania. Realized there was no way to access the choir loft. After paying a 9-day novena to St. Joseph, the mysterious stranger arrived with a donkey and simple tools. He built the 33-step double helix staircase without nails or a center support column and vanished without taking payment. The sisters believe St. Joseph himself built
it. Interesting.
That's a very interesting story. I mean, again, people were way smarter back then, but education, like I said, I think people keep us dumb, so it's a sleight of hand. You're always looking this way while all this is going on. And again, I have to go back to how many people do you think clicked on this podcast, heard what we were talking about? I was like, oh, that's nonsense, and clicked right out of it. And we could be talking nonsense. There might not be aliens. What if it's not? But what if it is?
So going back to copper, how many of you guys have actually seen the videos of like copper being used to actually plant some of your plants, I guess is the best way to say it. And how it helps to actually grow crops in your gardens, including with the clouds and the weather, and how it actually you're able to use it to avoid the clouds in the area where gardens at to actually be able to grow. There's a video out there that actually shows you how to do it. It's actually pretty interesting. That might be the next experiment we try, Sean. Maybe build one of them and see if it really does interact with the clouds, and if it pushes the clouds away as it says they can.
I'm writing that down. I'm gonna go look that up, Selena. You got me curious now.
It's interesting, man. Like there's a way that you can use copper and copper pipes to. I mean, it shows you like you point it at the, the area where you're growing, point it at the sky, and supposedly it pushes all the bad clouds away and pushes all the clouds away to actually be able to give you light to your crops so that they can grow.
Yeah, I mean, rumor has it that's why they got rid of copper pipes.
Yeah,
it ain't because it's cheaper to go with PVC.
It's cheaper, but it's also harder to work with. I mean, I wouldn't say harder to work with, but home-wise.
Do you really want to go down that rabbit hole, Butterfly? Because we could do it. I mean, let's do it. We got 5 people left in here. I mean, I don't know if it's the same people from earlier, but y'all are really hanging in here.
Well, now we have 5. We were at 4, so we're doing a little better.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, if we had 2 people hanging in here on a random Tuesday night this late, I think we're doing good. But yeah. I will say, I know, right? Grand Time Butterfly's on one tonight. I want to say this again. Butterfly never talks as much, and neither does Selena. Not this much, but y'all are actually good. How come y'all don't put all this stuff out here normally when we talk? Y'all, it's late night. Y'all done got into something. Y'all are doing good tonight. I'm loving it. But what I want to say, before I am going to go into something Butterfly touched on. I use copper for my plants in my garden. They do better. I use copper cups as well. Victorian era use copper pots and pans. It's so beneficial, but no, they push plastic and Teflon.
Here, yeah. If you let me
talk about that
presentation thing, there's that video I was telling you about. It actually helps. It's like a quick little
I'll present it.
15-second video. Like these are the kind of things people are doing with their gardening and their plants. See, like this one of them here. All it is a stick with copper on it, and it actually helps. It's called electroculture. Boom. Fast forward a little bit. See if it shows the. So it shows you the results. But it also pushes supposedly the clouds away, which is wild.
Which also it'll also purify the water as well.
Yeah, but it's interesting. I mean, I find it.
Copper is great, man. Yeah. But they wanted to get rid of it because I heard it in the presidential debate. I'm not going to say which one because this is not a political channel, and whether you love them or hate them, I'm not going to say who, but I heard in the presidential debate a candidate say something about population control, and that stuck with me. It really did. It stuck with me when they mentioned that's what they were pushing for in their side of the debate if they were elected. And they didn't touch on it after that. It was almost like they screwed up by saying that. And I'm like, well, no, I felt like that comedian. Say what you said. Say what you said. Because they just said it. They were like, yeah, we're going to push population control. What does that mean? But like, hold on, go back. And they just kind of stopped there. And I'm like, no, let's talk about that. What exactly does that mean? They weren't from my side that I was talking about, but I was like, no, go ahead. Let's talk about that. I want to know what you mean. And then you take away everything that benefits us. So, but Butterfly touched on something. And since this isn't a very spooky subject that we're going down, but it kind of does tie into it. But pushing pills instead of natural remedies, the generations our family use. Y'all, I can attest to this personally. Now, I was an athlete for many years of my life. Those of y'all who don't know me personally, and everything I say, I got receipts for. If you're my personal friend on Facebook, you can dig through my pictures and see everything I've done. But I was a fighter at one time. I was a football player, a wrestler, basketball player. I was a pretty well-rounded athlete most of my life. And when I stopped doing all that, of course, gravity pulled everything down. Got this nice, pretty belly that I love sporting in the summertime. All y'all want them six-pack abs. I let the belly hang. Well, what comes with that is a massive amount of health problems that I had to deal with in my life. I had gotten up to 498 pounds. I was pushing 500 pounds. I go to work one day and my supervisor had called Courtney and said, "Hey, come get Sean, man. He's at work drunk as hell." I was stumbling around. My breath was smelling like I just chugged a bottle of wine, right? And Courtney said, "Wait a minute. Sean doesn't drink. Like anybody who knows me know I don't really drink." So I go to the hospital. The doctor looks at me and says, "Sean, you're going straight to the ER by ambulance." And I'm like, "Why?" They said, "We took your blood sugar and it's not even registered." And I'm like, "Okay, that's cool. That's what's up." So I'm taking this nice little ride to the ER. My sugar was at like 750 something. My A1C was like 13 something. It was crazy. And my blood pressure was like 200 over 170 something. My health was way out of whack. But I felt fine though. I was a little dizzy, but I was okay. Doctor said, "I don't know how you're sitting here talking to me like this." So they put me on like 14 different pills. It was like I took like 14 pills in the morning and like 13 pills at night. This is literally how many pills that I would take, and I'm putting my personal business out there, y'all. And so this went on for several years. I'm taking this many pills. Now, those of y'all who don't know what pills do to you, they tear your liver up, they tear your kidneys up. So 3 years later, I'm in stage 3 kidney failure, right? Blood pressure is still through the roof. Kidneys are still failing. Nothing's getting better. Finally, I said, enough's enough, y'all. Like, I'd rather just die. Like, you keep on giving me another pill, upping my dosage. These pills got me feeling like crap. Finally, I said, you know what? I'm just going to change my diet. I'm going to exercise a little bit. I ended up dropping like 160 pounds, something like that, something crazy. I'm nowhere near the 500 mark anymore. Started eating better. But then I started taking supplements, started doing beats and stuff like that. And I said, I ain't taking all these pills no more. So they started taking me off all these pills and they started eating more natural stuff. Guess what, y'all? My blood pressure is now normal. I get a normal reading. And then the doctor told me my kidneys are improving. So I don't think it's so much that I changed my diet, but I noticed the more pills I cut back, everything started improving. And the more natural vegetables and stuff I was eating, the better everything got. These pills are killing people. So that when Butterfly started pushing pills, I honestly feel like these pills are killing people. I really do. I don't think they're helping people at all. You want to talk about population control? Push as much medication you can. They're creating new pills every single day.
What comes with medication?
Another pill?
No.
Oh, money. Yeah, money, of course. But think about it. They give you one pill, right? When that pill, with that pill, you have to take another pill to work with that pill. Then you got to take another pill to work with that pill. So the money goes up. Then the doctor has to manage that. So when the doctor has to manage that, the doctor's now getting paid more. And then, so when I went to school, when I went to college, I had to take a medical billing and coding class, right? That's when I learned how much money really goes into healthcare. That when you go to wipe your ass in the bathroom, you just spent $200. And this was in like 2006 when I was in school. I can imagine what a roll of toilet paper costs now, but it was $200 for a roll of toilet paper.
Yep.
Flushing the toilet one time is $500 in a hospital.
Listen, a soda, a ginger ale, cost me $900.
So I can imagine what it costs now. So this is
So,
why they're pushing pills. It ain't to help you.
have you ever heard of the DNA test? Not the DNA test, but there's been claims out there. Like if you're planting any sort of fruits or anything in your garden, to take the seed and put it in your mouth. And that seed will automatically read what your body's deficient in. And once the plant or the fruit starts to grow, it actually grows with those deficiencies that you're lacking, like the actual things that you're lacking to supplement for what you're lacking. Supposedly, that's what they claim. I don't know how true that is, but it's one of those things where it's supposedly been proven.
Interesting. No, I haven't heard that. But what I did hear, my grandmother. Those of y'all who don't know, if you go to our website, which I need to plug the link in, but it's hillcityafterdark.com. We sell all natural protection, all natural hair growth products, all natural everything. The plants that I use come straight out of my grandmother's garden. My grandmother does not plant one single bit of her vegetables or her rosemary, which I use to make my hair products with. She doesn't plant any of that in the ground. She says the ground is contaminated soil. Now, I didn't know how true that was until I did a little research. I did a little digging. Have you noticed the fruit you get from the grocery store just don't taste like it used to? And then it's perfectly preserved until you get it home. And then you get it home and it goes bad, like almost instantly. Like even the bread you get doesn't last like it lasts. Actually, I'm sorry, the bread will last you a long time. Bread isn't supposed to last weeks and weeks and weeks on the shelf. So all the stuff that we're getting is bad. But my grandmother grows everything above ground. She grows them in these giant, humongous pots of dirt that she gets. She doesn't get it like out of the ground, and like she makes compost piles and all. She does all kind of crazy stuff. But I noticed her fruit tastes completely different, and vegetables and all the stuff she grows is completely has a whole different taste to it, and it looks different than the stuff you get in the grocery store. Her tomatoes are way different looking, but I heard that everything in the ground is contaminated. But if you think about it, when it rains, where does that rain come from? And then the soil that we have, everything that's coming from the sky goes into this. I mean, she has like a whole like building and everything's under. It's wild.
Well, there was a thing going around during COVID. Apparently, the government was buying a lot of these farms and the crops off of these farms. That's interesting. Um, so I mean, that makes you wonder, like, is there anything being done to these fruits? And you know what I mean? Like, there's got to be something behind it. There's got to be some sort of truth to it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like even the rosemary that I get out of her garden, it has a whole different smell to it. It's the tomatoes just they taste different than the tomatoes you get in the store. But like even chicken, like look at the meat that you get in the store
It's
versus
the fake
farm.
meat.
I even heard that 3D printing meat.
Mm-hmm.
I read that somewhere.
Yeah, it's a legitimate thing, and I don't know if you've heard the person actually, the CEO of the company that does it, just got caught in some sort of scandal talking about how people are idiots that are eating these stuff and how he's making so much money off of it, and he was talking about people being, he called him the R word.
Yeah.
Like actually eating this kind of food, and it's, I don't think that's going to be a thing here much longer.
I don't know, man. Don't nothing surprise me anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, lab grown. It's funny. Selena put that. I'm gonna post that. So Selena said lab grown. Kentucky Fried Chicken is what it used to be called back in the day. That legally they can't even call it Kentucky Fried Chicken anymore. It has to be called KFC because it's not real chickens you're eating. They're lab grown. The chicken they have don't even have beaks. They don't have. It's just I don't even know what it is. Like it's not a real
Look at
chicken.
The McDonald's chicken nuggets.
Oh
They're made
man,
out of like a yogurt type of meat.
yeah, like the stuff that you're eating, y'all, is terrible for you. It tastes good, but it's not real. And people eat this stuff every single day. But the crazy part is, if you want to eat healthy food, if you want to get a real steak or a real burger or a real chicken, you're going to pay for it. It's going to cost you a lot of money. And the average American cannot survive eating healthy food. You just can't. Like it's. I know, Selena. Yeah. If you want to go to like the fresh market, and I question places like that too because it's a chain.
It's
I,
times
I,
like this where I miss living in Puerto Rico. Had our own
Puerto
farm,
Rico,
fresh
wow.
fruits.
I'm gonna go to Puerto Rico with you one day.
Let's do it. There's a lot of ghost stuff over there too.
I bet there's a lot of alien stuff over there.
Main UFO hotspot. Yeah, I was going to tell you they have their own airport for UFOs.
So, Chris, where's your next investigation at?
The next one here is going to be probably the Pine Barrens. You'll be doing a project there. It should be fun in the middle of the woods. And then the other one we're working on, hopefully, we can get it rolling.
Y'all need to come back to Virginia. I need to host a public with you and Scott.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm down. I think the next one, we're the one following that is going to be we'll be filming a pretty cool series. It's going to be a season 2 of a series that I was already a part of, and that I'm just going to leave a secret until we're ready to release that. I think everybody will like it.
Yeah. I know Daryl Paulette with Clover Hill Village said that going back to the alien stuff. I know we were talking about the food and some stuff, but tonight I'm not going to go talk about paranormal tonight. We're talking aliens tonight. I don't even want to talk paranormal tonight right now. We'll get there.
Well, aren't aliens paranormal?
They are. Anything that's not normal is paranormal. Like my foot itching the way it's itching right now from this mosquito. That's why I'm just letting y'all know I don't have a tick tonight, y'all. I'm doing this because I'm scratching my foot on this chair. That's why I keep shaking like that. But
when I told you earlier before we went live, it's because of mosquitoes, man.
The mosquitoes, man. I was out. Look, I had to go to I have a property in Bedford County. And I want to talk about, before we go into Daryl Paulette, there's an author, and I got her books over there. I'm going to go get them. I'll be right back. Isn't that the way they say in a horror movie before they die? I'll be right back. I'll be right back, y'all. Hold on.
All right, so now that Sean left, we can go ahead and start talking about stuff. No, I'm just kidding.
Hear you.
Let's see what he's doing. Do we all want to take bets on what he's actually going to do right now? Be interesting. But Butterfly, touching back on what you're talking
about. Special guest.
Oh, there she is.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, how much would you laugh if that thing just literally started moving?
Oh, shit, it did move. No, I was playing. This is Courtney, y'all.
That's funny. That's true.
I'm not gonna lie. I really did scare myself just now because her foot hit the edge of my chair and it felt like it moved for real. And it did scare me. So Courtney has a whole collection of haunted dolls right here.
So Butterfly said, but why do we think it's not normal? Is it because of them telling us it's paranormal? It could be normal to us and they didn't keep it from us. I mean, that's deep. It's not true.
What if we're the aliens?
What's that?
What if we're the aliens? But before we go any further, I want to take a minute to shout out author Sin Schrader. And no, I'm not sponsored by her. I don't sponsor her. I don't I'm not affiliated with her business in any way, shape, or form. I just want to put this out there. This lady is a great author. She writes books basically about the paranormal, the other side, but she's had a lot of loss in her dealt with a lot of death in her life. She just lost her mother. And I'm gonna tell you what kind of woman she is. Those of y'all who follow me on or us on TikTok know I uplift women in the paranormal because I feel like the women kill it. Y'all know I love the ladies, y'all. I always love the ladies. Ask Courtney, she'll tell you. Sean loves ladies. But anyway, I uplift women, and this woman lost her mother literally the week she was supposed to be on our show, right? Lost her mother, told her she wasn't going to be able to make our show. And I told her, that's fine. My condolences. If you need anything, holler. Called us the next day and said, do I still have a spot on your show? Because I feel like being on your show will help me get through this. And I said, absolutely, send any time. And I go to my property out in Bedford County. I'm checking the mail, and I get this package. My mail doesn't get delivered over there. It gets delivered to my house in Lynchburg. But I got this package, right? It says Sean and Courtney on it. And I'm thinking it's a bomb. I'm like, man, don't open that. Do not open that. Courtney's like, I want to see what it is. I'm like, man, don't open that. And it's what I got in that package was her 3 newest books from author Sin Schrader. Right? These books are amazing. I read her other book, but the first book I want to talk about is More Signs of Beyond. It's Not Goodbye Too. These books, you can find them on Amazon. They're on all the little books. If you're a book reader, read them. If you're not a book reader, read them. But Signs of From Beyond, the first one, is literally a book about people who look for signs from the other side that their loved ones left behind, how to tell what signs are if you don't know what to look for. It's literally stories from people who talk about the signs, whether it be coins or the birds or whatever you're looking for. It's literally signs from the other side. So it's a great book. And then the second book she wrote is They're Speaking, Are You Listening? It's another book she wrote. And then it's another one called Death's Doorstep, Near-Death Experience, Angel Rescues, and Spirit Warnings. Author Sin Schrader. I wanted to take time to shout her out. I had no idea she was sending me her books. She didn't warn me. She didn't tell me she was sending them. I had no idea that she was sending those books to me. And she's a beautiful soul. She's been on our show. If you go to our YouTube and look back through, you'll find her. We had her on here a couple times. I'd love to have her back. She's a paranormal investigator herself. So I wanted to take time to shout out author Sin Schrader. I don't read a lot of books like that, but I will take time to read her books. Most of my books are all history related, but I will I enjoy reading these books. She's on all the Amazon and audiobooks and stuff like that. So moving on, I would love, Daryl Paulette did say we could use Clover Hill Village. They have a big open field in Appomattox where the surrender was. I think they're about a mile away from the surrender grounds. He's heard audible cannon fire out there. It's an actual paranormal location to investigate. However, there is a beautiful, clear shot of the sky at his location. He said, anytime I want to come out there and stargaze, I can. You need to come down back to Virginia. The last time you came, it was crazy out here.
We had some really cool stuff happen, but we're not touching into that right now.
No, we're on aliens right now.
Yeah. What about? I really want to talk about what were you feeling in the back of the truck that day?
What was I feeling? I'm a black dude with 2 cops in the middle of nowhere on a dark night. And I left my cordless hole puncher back at the Airbnb. This
I've
was the
never
beginning of one of those 1800 stories about.
I have never heard it called the wireless hole puncher. That's pretty good.
Well, the government listening.
That's funny.
The
Well, I mean,
government
it's all
listening.
right. You already mentioned bomb once.
Because I don't,
I
I
don't know.
don't, I don't own any guns. I
I
don't
don't know
have
which
any.
one's
I
worse.
am anti-gun. Anybody who knows me knows I am anti-gun. If anybody's listening, I don't have any weapons. These,
Listen, if you guys were there, you guys would have laughed. And not just about Sean. I think you guys would have laughed with all of our reaction, all three of us. You have these three guys in a truck, and we're all panicking because we literally feel something watching us.
I
And just
repeat,
that,
Governor Hamburger. No, I do not have any guns. Just letting Governor Hamburger know I have no guns. All right, I had to put that out there in case she's watching.
she's
Governor
already shown
Hamburger.
up to your house, knocking your door. That SWAT team was really there for you earlier.
I don't have any. I don't have any. I don't believe in guns. I have
Okay.
none. All right.
If yours
So
gets,
what I was
if
feeling
yours,
in the back of the truck. Listen, this is what I was feeling, honestly. So I was feeling like there were things watching us. I felt heavily watched. I felt like something was about to happen. I didn't know what. You know that feeling, that sixth sense we all have as humans, like something's not right. I didn't know what was going to happen. And that was right before you went to start the truck. The weirdest part about your truck not starting was that you have a fairly new truck. Like it's a very new truck. And I can't say I don't have any experience because our truck's a 24, 25. I don't know what year I don't even know what year my Tahoe is. It's either 24 or 25. Even my pickup truck's fairly new. So I do, I'm a hot rod guy. I have like 12 or 13 cars. I don't even know. I get yelled at about my cars daily. But so I'm more versed on the old school than I am the new school. And so I know with these new cars, they should start unless the battery's dead, or they should make a noise or something to indicate failure. And your truck didn't do anything to indicate any kind of catastrophic failure. It was literally key not recognized was coming across your dash.
Yep.
And that's right after I got that feeling. But there's a big part that we keep leaving out of this story, a huge part. We ran an EVP session where we like to experiment. Every time we investigate together, we do. And that's right, Butterfly. We do a lot of experiment. When Chris and I get together and investigate, we do a lot of stuff we don't typically do on investigation. We ran an EVP session where we didn't ask any questions. We just cut the recorder on and had complete silence. When we did that, there were things talking in the recorder and we were all still, we were all silent, we didn't say anything. And then the star movement in the sky, like these were stars that should be sitting still, but they're moving and taking off and running in the sky. That was just a very odd experience, especially from the night before, where all kind of shit was happening. It was just a very sinking feeling in my gut the whole time I was sitting there. So I was like, man, if something's gonna happen, let's get it over with. That's the kind of mentality I had.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird feeling.
Very weird.
To me, it just felt like we were completely surrounded, and there wasn't a damn thing we could do about it. That's really what it felt like.
The feeling of being helpless, it kind of sucked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sucks.
I felt completely vulnerable. Like we were at the mercy of it, whatever was out there. Just a very odd, weird feeling. And the part of me was like, let's do it again.
I do want to go back. I'll tell you that. Definitely want to go back.
But we are approaching midnight, y'all.
Midnight.
And
We
I
are
know Chris
midnight.
probably has to go catch bad guys tomorrow.
I'm actually off, but I gotta go take my truck. I want to get it looked at.
Yeah.
Make sure everything's good with it.
And I know y'all are probably tired of listening to us chat. But we will do this again, hopefully next week if Chris is available.
It wouldn't be the same day, but it'll be probably
we
the day
can
before.
we can keep rolling with aliens or ghost or whatever you guys choose to talk about. Cody,
This is the people's podcast. They decide what we talk about.
Yeah, you guys decide what we chat about. So before we go, I will give you guys a chance to ask any questions you would like. Butterfly, you're right, it's been real. And we keep it real no matter what. And you, my friend, I've never seen this side of you, Butterfly. I've known you now for like 6 or 7 years and have not seen this side of you. So it was awesome to see that side of you tonight. Butterfly, I mean, Grand Time, great to see you too. This is y'all's chance to ask any when am I take that hat off. I will take this hat off, but it'll be replaced with another great Civil War hat. I'm just going to watch Haunted Stories on Amazon. Well, if you look hard enough, I think, Selena, I will suggest you watch Chris Mendace on YouTube on Supernatural Untold Stories. He has some great paranormal stuff on there. Or you could check him out on the Signal Network. He's got some great episodes on there as well, Selena. So
there's going to be some new videos coming out. Just a heads up. Some new videos coming out.
Amazon, go to YouTube first and check him out.
Yeah.
I would highly suggest you check him out. I'm not on there yet, I'm not.
New videos, he's gonna be on there. Courtney's gonna be on there. And it's all going to be released on Supernatural Untold Stories YouTube page.
But Chris has great content, y'all. Like I'm not saying that because he's a friend of mine. Those of y'all who don't quite know me on a close and personal level, Butterfly does. Butterfly knows me very well, and she'll tell you if I don't think Chris's stuff is good, I would not put it out there. I would just be like, y'all go check out Supernatural and those stories and leave it at that. But I will tell you that Chris probably has some of the best content out there, and he's really good with his stuff. So if you like looking at paranormal investigations and stuff like that, check out his Signal Network and look up. You'll see his videos on there. Look up Supernatural Untold Stories. Follow him on TikTok. Follow him on Facebook. Look him up. It's Chris Mendace or Supernatural Untold Stories, aka Officer Tight Pants, aka Mr. Tighty Whitey.
I like it.
Why is my alarm going off on here?
I was going to ask you, what are all those bird sounds?
I don't know. This thing goes off like every night for some reason. So yeah, check him out, y'all. He's got some great videos, great content. Then you can get on Amazon and look up some spooky stuff, y'all.
Yeah, or just look up your content. Your content's better than mine.
So. My content's trash. Unless you're on TikTok, then it's decent.
Yeah, Courtney runs a TikTok. She's gonna be all over on her lives, getting some little piglets.
Yeah, y'all show Courtney some love on TikTok. A couple of my videos on TikTok.
He's definitely making me blush. He leaves me speechless every time we talk.
My personal TikTok is trash. Like when I was playing music, I had a Sean Elliott Jr. TikTok, and I think one of them is Bedford County Outlaw. That one's okay, but my personal one is trash, dude. I think I got like 3 videos on there. I get on there now just to spy on people. But yeah.
It's almost like you get that camera freeze.
Chris making me blush.
Yeah.
Officer Tight Pants. He makes me laugh.
Court is a ball. She definitely is. She got me stuck in the attic by myself all for TikTok.
We always have some crazy investigations, y'all.
But it's been a blast. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. It was definitely fun, and we'll definitely have to do it again. So hopefully you guys will tune in on the next podcast, whatever that may be. We'll post it a couple days probably in advance, and hopefully it should be fun.
And Chris, come back to Lynchburg so we can hang out at I forgot where we were. We were at Big Licks where all the guys were hitting on you. And
oh no, that was definitely you. We walked in and said, you guys, I don't know if you guys heard that story. Look at all those tattoos. I like them.
You got more tattoos than I do.
That's not what he said.
All right, y'all. I'm Sean with Hill City Paranormal and Hill City After Dark on the Other Side podcast. And you got my awesome co-host here, Chris Mendace with Supernatural Untold Stories. Make sure you follow him. And you can always catch us here every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock p.m. I think that's Central. And tomorrow night, we're going to do our actual podcast. We didn't do it tonight because we're actually launching our tour here in Lynchburg. We're going to be doing the walking tours, trying to talk some ghosts, talk some history. It's going to be really cool. And we're doing haunted pub crawls at the local bars here. We got some amazing tour guides. We got some amazing stuff we're trying to bring to the Hill City. So make sure y'all follow us on social media for that. But until then, I'm Sean. This is Chris. Make sure y'all follow us. Thank y'all for hanging out with us late night tonight. And we will see you on the other side. Catch y'all later, y'all.
You gotta hit